Hey, today I'm going to show you how to make really cool woodlands, so like pine forest and stuff like that, using just Quixel Bridge and Blender. Quixel Bridge is an awesome platform. It is free to download, and you can get a lot of assets of any type. So you have to pay for the Blender license, but here's a little secret, and don't leak it. If you do the Unreal Engine license, you can still export to Blender. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Start by opening up Bridge. And once you've installed it, there are a bunch of tutorials out there, so just install Bridge. And it's coming up. So, you're gonna want to find, in any kind of forest you can do. This thing has 17,682 assets, and there are new ones almost daily. So, I want to make kind of a pine forest, like a very small kind of scene. They don't have complete trees, but they have nice tree trunks. So I'm gonna search for tree, and I should get a bunch of tree trunks. So imagine what your scene is going to be. I kind of want this kind of scene, with a pine tree, like kind of in the woods, a mossy ground, and then some sort of subject like a book or something with light rays shining onto it. So it's not terribly hard to make. So you can find any kind of tree trunk you like and then just download it. I might do these, and they look pretty good. And I'm also gonna want some mossy stuff, so let's search for moss for the ground. I also will download a bunch of boulders, and I'll find some moss covered things. Like, let's see, I'll do a mossy embankment because I know they have one of those. Yeah, here. And so there's this, and I like this, so I'll probably use this. You might also want some more smaller trees for the background, and a pine needle texture for the ground, and also some rocks. I live in the Smokies. I'm around a lot of areas like this, so I know what this stuff looks like. So I have this, and I might also take this. So they might take a little while to download, and make sure that you have your export settings. Set the export target to Blender. Then the models, so you can change the LODs, depending, or levels of detail, that's what it stands for. So I might do LOD 3 because I don't really want to deal with like a ton of polygons. So once you're done, you can go to Blender. You need to install the import. You need to install this add-on. So just search for Megascans, and you can find it on the Quixel website. So just find it on Google, and you'll be able to find it. So once you're ready to import, you just go to Import, and then Megascans import Olympic files. And now that you're primed to import the files, you can go to Quixel again, and you can go to your local tab, and this is a bunch of stuff that I've downloaded. So I might so I'm gonna start with this, and you can just hit export. If it doesn't export, make sure that oh good, yeah, so it did export. But if it doesn't export, you're gonna have to make sure that that you actually have one of these lower LODs. So check this out. So the problem with the add-on is that it doesn't actually import the stuff as well as it should. So you have to reconnect these. The normal map goes into the normal, the roughness goes into the roughness, and you turn the clear coat down. For some reason it just did that. So we have this normal map thing, and I'll import the rest of the things. So I've imported everything and fixed the textures I want in the scene. So if you want to add grass, you can go to the weight paint mode and paint on areas that you want your grass, or you don't want your grass. And then you can go and add a particle system, set it to here. Then you can set the object or collection. So I'm going to select I put some of my grass in a collection, so I'm going to select that. Grass, here's 01. So Now you can see I have grass, but if you want it, you need to select your group from the white painting, and then and then it actually looks really cool. You can change the scale randomness. It's important, and you can see pretty soon you actually have a really, well, fairly believable scene. Then you can drag in more things. I got some elderberry too, so you don't want to get too much or else your computer will get bogged down, but you can actually go pretty far with them, especially with a decent computer. Blender will actually handle things really well. You could add particle systems for all of this stuff, but I kind of don't recommend having too much high poly stuff because you kind of want some creative freedom too, like more than that would offer. So the next step is I'm gonna want that make it look decent. I mean, it doesn't look good right now, so I'm gonna head into cycles. I'm gonna go into the rendered view, add in an HDRI, and you see it doesn't render and like as smoothly as usual, since we definitely have some high poly here. So I'm gonna add some volumetric fog, just add a mesh cube and scale it just big enough for where you need it. Scoot it in there, and I'm gonna create a new volumetric material. So remove the surface and add a volume scatter for the volume, and that bog cycles down even more. I might do 0.1. I'm gonna add the sunlight. Or actually what would be better is replace this with a sky texture. In cycles you can do Natisha. I think that's how it's pronounced. And look, I mean, that, in my opinion, is very beautiful. I mean, and it just looks so perfect. I mean, the volumetric fog definitely plays its part. Something you can do is you can actually change ray visibility. So, okay, this is a really cool concept that I'm not sure how many people use. So you could just take any kind of plant, and you will not see it. You'll only see the shadow from it. So you could just take it, you could move it in the place where you want the shadow, because I want to create some god rays. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, let's see, should be over here. There's with the object you can actually change the ray visibility. So yes, so here, so camera, and then you can turn it off. And then, so you can't see it, but it casts shadows, which is, so it's like an invisible shadow maker. So I'm gonna move it here, and it just adds a slight bit of atmosphere, which I think is really important. You can also do the same thing with cubes and stuff to function as light guides, so you can guide the light to your desired area. So I might just add a couple cubes. Looks wrong. Just right here. And that is not anything important. Well, actually, it is very important. I shouldn't. So, and then I'm gonna also move one above. And now you can see we really guided our atmosphere, so it fits a lot better, and it looks perfect. I mean, this is actually really beautiful. I mean, and then so the final thing that at least I really like to do is add some sort of kind of focal point in the scene. So basically a subject. So you could do anything for this. I mean, you could even find an asset on Bridge, like animal guts. No. Like these old barrels. I might just go ahead and import as Olympic, and then I'll go ahead and export these to Blender. And if it doesn't export, you probably need to restart Blender. So I just am gonna restart it. Take your camera, and then you can also do depth of field. So just depth of field. I also like to do lower the focal lengths, and that just kind of creates a more drawn out dramatic effect. And look at that. And we have so much geometry that it definitely takes a while to load, but we have all the God rays, and this isn't, and there's no post-processing here, so, and this isn't even as good as you could get. I mean, you could make it just a whole lot crazier. Really, I'm happy with this scene, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Oh, and consider subscribing too, because that would be a real help out. Thanks for watching, and see you next Friday or the Friday after.